976 Evil. This movie was not what I expected. High-tech horror. I read the back thinking I read high school. I have like dyslexia sometimes. And so it reads director Robert quotations Freddy Krueger end quotations England dials up, hint, this is foreshadowing stress words, dials up a contemporary gothic tale of high-tech horror, not high school horror. I thought I had something in the corner of my mouth. In 976 Evil. So, I don't know if 976 stands for something. 976. I don't know. I just watched it. Like, I'm not gonna go and do too much research on this because I want to get my genuine opinion. And so, the cover I couldn't figure out because it looked like a weird flashlight, but I guess it's a phone. It's the top of a phone. Those of you 90s children know what this is. It's a phone. 2000 and above, you guys are like, what's that old thing? Is that gross thing people used to share? You know, remember when a stranger would put his ear to the phone and then you would put your same ear to that phone? You know, in a house you would share the one ear phone. That, I mean, I guess now that we all have cell phones, that's a good thing. You get your own grease on your own phone and avoid that. You know, you always wipe your phone off when someone borrows your phone. And it's like when someone is like, can I borrow your phone? Aren't you kind of like, why? What do you want to do? What's up? Why don't you got your own phone? What is this? 2000? So anyway, movie was really good. So it's like a phone hotline that gives you a horoscope, but it's haunted. And it deals with this young angsty teen who is a rebel. And then he's got a weird cousin who is just the outcast, little dweeb dwarper. And, you know, then the hotline, you get exposed to it, you know. And then so, it's like a tangle of mess. And I thought it was a really good movie. I'm glad I stuck through. I'm gonna stuck. I would have stuck through it anyway. But like, if this was any old day and I was watching this movie on TV, I would get to probably half an hour in, and I would have turned it off because it was kind of slow. But I guess it was just playing with some things and whatnot, but I tell you what, man, I'm stuck through, and it was a good fucking movie, and fucking entertaining. So, I would recommend it. I would probably recommend a lot of these movies, because I think if you're drunk, you can probably watch anything. If you're high, you can probably watch anything. You're on drugs, you could probably try to watch it. You know? But overall, definitely watchable. Fucking Robert Englund. So, I was thinking about this. The premise of this movie is like, the Truth or Dare movie that just came out. Not too bad, you know. You get a dare, and it's like, do it, or die. And that's basically what was happening in the movie. And, it's just a weird setup, like having a phone hotline service possess you. I can't remember what I was writing about it. I wrote something down, but I don't fucking care anymore. So that was really funny. And, yeah. So, you should watch it. Now, spoilers. All spoilers from here on out. The main dude is just boring. Kind of boring. He's supposed to be a badass, but it's just kind of not. And I guess he just does nothing until the end of the movie. Like, he kind of is there. He's kind of like intertwined in the story, but he's just there, you know? But of course, the real character in this movie is, his name is Hoax. 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 I couldn't fucking figure out what they were calling him. I thought it was Hogs with a G, Hoax with a T, Hooks. Sometimes I heard some people say. But Hoax. So, Hoax was the character. Because he was the outcast, he was really weird. And, you know, he was in the movie Fright Night as Bad Eddie. Evil Eddie? Can't remember his name. But, you know. And then, if you know of this actor, you know that he is gay, and he's done movies under a different name. That's cool, man. Do what you gotta do. I don't know this history behind it, but fuck, he had fun probably. And then I guess he's back in the movies. So anyway, that guy's pretty cool. So he was the main he to me was the main character because he just was the entertainment of everything. He was the acting was like spot on. He was just like this sheltered mother's boy, and his mom was really fucking churchy, and you know, but I didn't like her. She was fucking annoying, and I guess that's the point because later on she dies, and you're like, thank fucking God someone killed her. So the dude is all like weird and dweeby because his mom's like weird and motherly, like the overly motherly. He's probably like 17, and probably she still wipes his face after he eats dinner, you know? Did so quite literally in the first like 15 minutes of the fucking movie. And so he's weird and everything, and everyone picks on him, right? So he eventually gets to this hotline number, and in the hotline number you come to find out, you know, it's just really weird, and it's kind of like that truth or dare thing where, you know, they come up and you hear his weird voice. It's like, yo, this is the dark voice man, and I'm gonna give you your horoscope on, and then it cuts to an automated lady's voice, May 13th or whatever day. I thought that was pretty funny. There's a lot of good, like, dark humor in this movie, clearly because Robert Englund was the main dude in charge of this. He definitely had that Kruger jazz in the dark humor here. He just took a character and he was able to, like, play evil with him, which is pretty cool. The actor in here. His Stephen Jeffries or Joffries is the dweeby Hoax. So this hotline kind of just says like it rhymes like Dr. Seuss but like evil. So it's like it was daring the boy to say something steals, lies, fucking something, blah blah blah, take what you want. I can't remember, and it was rhyming the whole time. And then the guy like tried to steal something, but he didn't. And I guess it tried to kill him, like in the movie Truth or Dare. And so, anyway, in the end of Truth or Dare, there is no. Just kidding. So this boy, Hoax, ends up getting the number to the hotline and calling it, and it's a horoscope, so it kind of like, and it's evil, so it tunes to his like sadness and his character flaws, and it's like, yo, don't let your mother get you down. Pretend it's like a spiritual something, and so he's like, it's like don't let your mother get you down. You know, go out to the movies and meet the girl of your dreams. And the girl of his dreams was the girl dating his cousin, who was the badass, who was like the 2D character, and he goes and just by coincidence like meets up with her because she and the boy had a fight, so they went out and had pizza together, and like, dude, it was like worked out. So, you know, to be honest, the whole story of the movie and the writing, a lot of it was like pretty in sync. Like little bits here and there of stupid things were tied into the end as like key points on survival or progression of the story, and I thought that was really good. So the kid's out with out having pizza with this girl of his dreams, and then these bullies come and fucking pick on him, right? And then they find her panties in his back pocket. Now I know I skipped over that detail, and I will tell you that she had sex with the cousin, and and Hoax went into his room and stole her panties, which she left behind. That's simple. Sorry, I did it, but you know I gotta explain this whole fucking movie. So anyway, she's like, "What the fuck, dude? I thought we were chilling and vibing over this pizza, but you are not who I thought you were." And she leaves him to the bullies, and you know, after a night of being bullied and thrown into a dumpster and shit, he calls up the hotline again. And the hotline's like, "Fuck her, man. You know, let me tell you what to do." And so the kid has this pet spider, and he basically does this like seance and possesses the spider, and to trick her, because he wants to scare her. And so her food that she's making at home it has spiders, and she's like freaking the fuck out, like tarantulas everywhere. It's like 1,000 tarantulas, and she's like, "Wow, no," and she's freaking out, and he's like laughing at first, like because he sees it in his mind, and he's at his own house, and he's like, "Rah, you know, imagine the pentagrams and the candles and he's got, I think he either just has a shirt off or he has a pentagram painted on himself, and so it's like going crazy. And then I think she like starts really freaking crying or something, and he's like, no, stop, and then he just wants to stop it all, and he slams down onto his tarantula and kills the tarantula, right? And then it kills that fucking girl. She dead, instant. He's like, "Oh shit." I was shocked too. I was like, "Oh fuck." He just fucking killed her. But he's like a 17-year-old kid, and he just committed murder. So he's kind of like shooken up. And he goes to school the next day. And he's got kind of like a good attitude. and then he's talking to his cousin, and his cousin says something like that's troubling him, and then something about the reporter guy. There's a reporter guy that's snooping around about everything, and he's like, "You want me to take care of him?" And the cousin's like, "Dude, I can handle my own battles." You know, talking to Hoax, because Hoax is this little dweeb. He's like, "You ain't gotta take care of no one for me. I can do it. Fuck off." And Hoax is like, "You don't believe me? I'll fucking take care of him just like I took care of your girl." And I'm like, "You dope. You just fucking said that." And then he spilled like about the murder and then everything else. And then and then the boy disappears for the rest of the movie. He just kind of like yells at him, and then he disappears. Where the fuck did he go? I have no idea. He basically disappeared. Like, I forgot where he was about the middle of the movie. And then Hoax just goes and fucks up everyone else's life, kills all the bullies, you know? He's basically getting his revenge. It's just one of those, like, great stories where the small kid gets the up-and-comings, or, you know what I mean? Like, gets the righteous revenge, and I rooted for him the whole way. Dude, these guys were assholes, and he fucking had fun, and he was, like, fucking throwing people, and, dude, it was a pretty fucking interesting movie, and it'd be good for drinking games. It's good for a laugh if you like watching good movies. It's not really a bad movie. I wasn't stupid shit that I was laughing at. I wasn't just going like, "Oh my god, I can't believe all that blood came out of him," or like, "Oh my god, all of those feet pieces just flying up everywhere. Okay, so so all this shit goes down, and he kills all those bad people, and then he goes home, and his mom's like fucking bitching at him, and he's already like half transformed. I forgot to mention, like, the more he kills and the more he talks online or on the phone on the hotline, and he starts to transform a little. He's losing his hair, and he's like getting like scaly fucking face and dark demon eyes, and then his hands start to like grow into claws, and so he basically is like transforming, and then so he's chilling on his mother's couch that's covered in plastic, and she's always like, get the fuck off the couch, or don't eat the couch, or don't eat on the couch, and the bird's always like, not on the couch, not on the couch, every fucking 5 minutes, not on the couch, and you're like, shut the fuck up, bird. So he's just sitting there, he's covered in blood, and he's like fucking watching TV, and he's like half demon, half like dweeby hoax. And then his mom comes in, and she's like, what the fuck? Blah, 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 blah. Fucking asshole. She didn't say that. She's like, Church, Jesus, you think you sin? And then she's like, look at me. And he's like, fuck you. It's like, and she goes to this side. She's like, you ain't fucking talking to me. You ain't gonna get that phone back. She's talking, because he made a bunch of the phone calls earlier. And then she's like, I'm gonna get my whipping whapple. And you're not too young, I'm gonna whip you, rapple. And he's just like, he fucking gets up and fucking Wolverine's, actually more like Sabretooth's, like Sabretooth's her throat, and she's like, and then all of the blood all over the couch, and the bird's like, not on the couch. Yeah. And then he goes to the bird cage and he kills the bird. And he goes, the couch is covered in fucking plastic. It was pretty funny because it's a good point. Or he says that's why it's covered in plastic. So A, what have we learned? That's why it's covered in plastic. B, a bird dies, and some fish die. There's a scene where some fish are like flying from heaven or whatever. It's something weird. The hotline did it for the boy earlier or something. And there's actual fish just being thrown or something. This was a weird scene. And then the fish are coming down, and then and Hoax is all like, ha 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 ha, fucking fish, ha ha. Look at all the fish, haha! And so that was he's a weird one. They fucking were not. Weird one. And so, and then they got the upward angle right of the camera, and we're looking down, and the fish are just like, oh my fucking god, we're on the concrete, we're on the grass, I'm fucking dying, flop 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 flop. All these live fish. So I'm pretty sure a lot of those fish are dead now. And that's gross. So fish die in the movie too. Okay, so Hoax kills his mother. And then the counselor comes by because she was hooked up with the detective or slash journalist. And she comes by, and then Hoax actually has a crush on the counselor. It's made that clear in the beginning. I forgot all about it until the counselor goes upstairs, finds the dead mother being eaten by the cats, and Hoax like corners her, and he's like, "What's up?" Because he was really weird in the beginning, right? And I like that like character dynamic of like being weird and shy and fucking awkward as fuck. He was really good at doing that. Like fucking, I'm like, ugh. Could you not be any more weird and awkward towards her? And she was being nice earlier, you know. He's like, hey, Mrs. So-and-so, hi. And she's like, hi, what his real name? I can't remember. I think Mr. So-and-so. I don't know. They don't say. Steve, blah, 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 blah. Fucking, yeah. So, later on, he's like, what's up? and he starts like taking her clothes off and like being really promiscuous with her, and he's about to like just fucking go full throttle. Then what's his face comes in, and I think he just straight up the journalist guy comes in, and then Hoax pushes her down into a hell pit because the house is turning into a hell pit because he's like demonically deformed. A lot is going on. It's hard to explain. It goes. So Hoax is fucking half demon and half weird loopy, like ha 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 ha. And so like this hotline has like possessed him, given its power or something. Like, you know, like, oh, a recruit. You know, I'm not just fucking playing with people. This guy wants it. You know, this guy wants this power. So he's like, this house, it's got like the demon floor glowing, and then Hoax is like, fucking floor fall, and then the floor gives out, and then there's it's blue. It's like a blue light hell pit. You know, not like red. You would think red, but it's blue hell pit, which is pretty cool, I guess. Icy blue, like death. And so, you know, all that shit goes down. Then the brother shows up. He wakes up the journalist, I think. And the journalist should have been like, and where the fuck have you been? I would have been like that, because where the fuck have you been? So, he shows up, and they're all like arguing, and the journalist escapes with the counselor lady, right? And Hoax just, I guess, lets them go. He's whatever. He's fucking around, really. The whole time he's really just fucking around. And in the end, they're like escaping off of this. This is like when I said they make like connections. Well, earlier the two cousins made they had like this tube that used airflow to carry messages back and forth, kind of like a bank teller service that, you know, you pop in the tube and your fucking thing goes up and it goes. So this is kind of what they built, and it was used throughout the movie several times as messages back and forth, because the cousin lived in like above the garage, and then the other cousin, the Hoax, lived in the house with his mother. And so this tube thing was suspended up to something. I don't know, because I don't think there was any trees, but it was roped up. And so the counselor and the journalist are like going across this now, because they're escaping the Hoax, and then they're like climbing, and then Hoax shows up, and he's just like, hey guys, what the fuck are you doing? And he starts shaking, and he fucking like does that thing again, and he makes the ground drop, and then this time I think it was like red hellfire, and then he's like shaking them, and she's like fucking bald, and she's holding on like this, and she's got her dangly legs, and she's like, fuck this shit, and so she's like I can't put my legs back up, yeah, god damn it, yeah, and then the guy, he's like, fucking goddamn it. And then Hoax is like, ha! You guys are fucking dead, man. And so, and then the brother comes, or the cousin comes finally. He does something. He comes along, and he's like, Hoax, what's going on, man? Hoax is like, Hoax is dead. I'm the demon now. I'm in charge. And then the cousin, whoever his name is, let's call him the Charles. It's probably not Charles. Let's call him Charles. Charles goes, Hoax, I know you're in there. Something, 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 blah, blah, blah. Look into my eyes, something, something, something. Aren't you in there? Wouldn't you like to go on bike rides with me? With our motorcycles? Go see sunsets and Grand Canyons? And go across the country? And then Hoax is all like, Charles, it's me, Hoax. That would be cool, man. And then the demon comes back. He's like, well, you're coming, take me with you, cause we're here forever, or something like that. And then he's like, he throws him into the pit. Hoax gets thrown into the pit by Charles. So, I was actually kind of really upset about that. And then the hell pit closes, and that's it. Yeah, very anticlimactic. But I was hoping that Charles would throw himself out, because he grabbed onto Hoax and he's like, and he fucking, it looks like he is going to commit suicide and kill himself and Hoax at the same time, because that would be the righteous thing to do. I mean, it makes for a good story. That's why I say it. In real life, why would you do that? Exactly. But this isn't real life. It's a fucking movie. You want to make a good movie. Now, I'm not saying it's not a good movie. It's just that would have been really cool, because his girlfriend, who he actually liked, but he ditched for a poker game. He's playing this all like, look, baby, you go wait downstairs and shit while I go win some money with the boys. And so that's kind of how he played it off with her. And she was really hot, and that's why she had a good time with Hoax at having the pizza. You know? But if Hoax wasn't such a fucking weirdo and pervert, you know? I know you can relate. I know I can relate. But sometimes you gotta dial it back. You gotta be like, okay, I know that's weird. I shouldn't mention severed ligaments and bugs and spiders, and I shouldn't eat weird things, and I shouldn't condone weird practices in public so much, you know. You gotta ease people into that. You can't break out that fucking thing and just fucking, hey, I know you don't fucking know me, but this is me. Now you know me. That's not how you, if you really want to make friends, you should really figure that out. So, he ruined it all. He should have killed himself. Charles. And then that the lady and the counselor and the journalist, they made it across, and that was it. And then it cuts to a phone operator dude we met earlier, who declined everything, I guess, and it showed that he had the actual phone system in front of him the whole time, and he had a file open, and it had someone's picture on it, and he dropped ketchup on it, and he's like, woo, rubbing it on his face, sorry about that. And then he kind of doesn't really wipe all the ketchup off, and then he replaces it with the picture of Hoax. After Hoax fell into the pit, I don't know what that meant, referencing Hoax was like, so it's like making the connection, like we did know. It's like, how did he get that headshot of Hoax? Or I should say, of Stephen Joffrey's. Anyway, it was a good movie. Pretty good fucking movie. Go Robert Englund. Some of the effects, like the one guy blew up in the beginning, and you could tell that the body was on wire, because it just did the wire thing. But it's still pretty cool. You gotta keep an open mind, I think. Yeah, you could be like, whoa, man, he fucking died. It's kind of like some kind of fifth dimension interpretation, you know, or sixth dimension. You know, you take what you're seeing, but yeah, you add a little bit of your own imagination to it. Almost like a buffer cloud that just kind of like pads the rough spots of the movie with your own imagination. And, you know, you could take that storyline and go with it, you know, and it makes everything happen. And I think, you know, it makes a lot of movies way better, because this storyline was fucking out there and trippy and weird with like a 1-800 or it's like 900 hotline number that was like weird. Oh, his name was Hoax Wilmoth. Yep. That was fucking weird. So that was a pretty good movie. I give it like a 6 out of 8 6 out of 8, maybe. Yeah.